Assalamu alaikum and a very good day I bid to the fellow viewers and listeners. Welcome to Voices for Change, a podcast where we dive into the world's most crucial issues that is going on till this day and we explore the real solutions. Today I am your host, Zul Hilmi, and we will be talking about two of the biggest challenges our world is facing, which is hunger and poverty. Did you know around 9% of the world's population live in extreme poverty and nearly 800 million people go to bed hungry every single night? These are not just numbers, these are people among families, children, and communities that are struggling to survive. But is a world without hunger and poverty really possible, or is it just a miracle? And that's what we'll be discussing today with our incredible panels who are experts and change makers. First of all, to begin, we must break down what poverty and hunger really means. It's not just about not having food or money. It's about the lack of education, the access to education, the access to healthcare and even opportunities. And with that, the one joining us today is our fellow Miss Alia, an economic specialist in Poverty Elevations. How are you doing, Miss?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in this podcast, especially. I'm doing well, despite having a lot of problems.
Very mindful, but that's all right. That is normal. And next to her, we have Ms. Norakil Najwa, who is an NGO volunteer of organization fighting for hunger and sustainable solution. How has your day been going, Miss?
Oh, thank you, Himi, for asking. Perfectly fine, Alhamdulillah. So, despite having the hectic schedule during Ramadan,
True.
Alhamdulillah, I'm here to discuss with you in this podcast to discuss with you social issues that discuss about hunger and other things. Thank you.
Yes, we're very glad to have them
How are
here.
you? How are you?
I am doing very great. I am continuing my podcast. We are still doing activities. We're still uploading. We're still talking for the people. We're still getting great people to our podcast to discuss crucial matters of the world for the better future. And now that our fellow panels have been introduced, we then move on to the questions of our discussions today, starting with Ms. Alia. What are the key drivers of hunger and poverty?
Okay, first, hunger and poverty are deeply interconnected. So, limited access to education, unstable economies, conflict, and climate change are major drivers. People in poverty often lack resources to improve their life, creating a vicious cycle for them. In Malaysia, the minimum wage is 1,700 ringgit, which may cover basic expenses. But in urban areas like Kuala Lumpur, where the cost of food, rent, and transportation is high, it's barely enough. Many families still struggle to afford nutritious food, healthcare, or save for the future. A higher minimum wage combined with better social protection is crucial to reducing poverty.
It's very, very true right there. And that's actually a great point too. And speaking of climate change, Ms. Najwa, how does climate change impact hunger?
Oh, thank you, Himi, for that great question. So we know that climate change actually disrupt our food production. So local droughts, floods, and extreme weathers can disrupt our food availability. Even it can affect our food quality. So who are the most impacted persons in this matter? Small farmers.
Exactly.
They supply us food,
Shout out to the farmers.
If the small farmers are impacted, hence the food hunger will be worse.
Correct. And now that we have received the problems and discussed about it, we now go on to the solutions. So we know the problem is very massive, obviously. But people and organizations worldwide are making a difference. Back to you again, Ms. Naja. What strategies are proving effective?
Okay, so we focus on empowering local farmers with better techniques compared to our to now existing techniques, ensuring food reaches to those people in need. So we come up with a program or campaign like school meals program. So for instance, for now we have programs like Kebun Bangsa and also Dapur Jalanan Kuala Lumpur. Have you guys heard about those programs?
Heard a bit, but not in detail. Do enlighten us.
Okay, so for Kebun Bangsa, it is actually an urban organization to cultivate the land use. So they optimize the land use by practicing permaculture farming. So they produce and even donate those fresh vegetables to those people in need. So another thing is Dapur Jalanan Kuala Lumpur. So basically, it is a volunteer-run organization. So at Jalan Panggung, for your information. So they offer free food, free drinks, and they even provide like essential things like hygiene products such as soaps, what other things, toothbrushes.
Give resources to the people.
Yeah. So to the underserved people. So regardless of their age, even their ethnicity, and even their religion. So they go with a slogan like makanan adalah hak semua bangsa. That's probably why it is called Dapur Jalan.
That's very great, very mindful, very resourceful, and it's incredible. And of course, with this type of diplomacy, education plays a huge role too. So let's hear what Alia's thoughts are on this.
So, economic empowerment is one of the most effective ways to reduce hunger and poverty because it gives individuals and communities the tools they need to achieve financial stability and self-sufficiency.
No, please.
When people have skills, they can create businesses, earn income, and break out of poverty. In one of our programs, we taught young women to start small food businesses, and many now support their families and also feeding their communities.
With the discussed solutions, we need to know that you might be thinking, like listeners, this is actually overwhelming what these great panels have provided. But what can you guys do? There are ways you all can help. We all can help with 3 simple methods. Starting with the first one, which is supporting organizations that are working to end hunger and poverty. Donations, volunteering like Ms. Najo here, and spreading awareness also helps. Second is to be conscious consumers. We must choose products that supports fair wages and sustainable farming. And last but not least is to advocate for change. Encourage leaders to support policies that promote food security and poverty reductions. And before we wrap everything up, I want to hear final thoughts from our great guests here. What gives you guys hope?
The resilience of communities. As a village lift themselves out of poverty with the right support, and also innovation in farming and food distribution, we are seeing real progress.
As for you, Ms. Najo?
I think the younger generation, because they are more aware, engaged, even they participate a lot in volunteer work. So other things is like the small act of kindness by those people who are helping each other. So I think that can give an impact that can actually reduce the food hunger problem.
True. So thank you, Bigs, to our brilliant panels today for the insightful discussions that we've had. So hunger and poverty are big challenges, but they are not unsolvable. We must remember that with innovation, compassion, and action, we can create a world where there will be no hunger and poverty is a thing of the past. So if this conversation inspires all of you, don't forget to share this episode to organizations of making a difference and even talk about it. Have some conversation with your communities. Share, like and subscribe us. Always keep up to date on what we're doing because we are voices for
Also
change.
inform them about the food waste during Ramadan.
Food waste during Ramadan. In this holy month, ladies and gentlemen, please purchase or buy only what you need.
Yep.
Or if you cook, be mindful
not
of what you
overbuy.
cook. Don't overcook, don't overbuy. Remember, the food that you waste, those people out there, 800 million people, they could have done better. They could have deserved the food that we waste. So stop wastage, be mindful, only receive what's enough. Yep. Ramadan, guys. So until next time, I'm your host, Zoe, and this is Voices for Change. Stay informed, stay engaged, and let's work towards a better future.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes.